Hello, I'm Roger Bisbee from Skill Builder, and I'm just working on this timber clad building. Now, a lot of people are going for timber cladding these days. It looks great, and to some extent they expect it to be maintenance free. Well, that's not exactly true, because obviously the ravages of the weather take their toll. If water gets into the wood cladding, it can expand and contract and warp and split. So the one thing we want to do is to treat this to repel the water, and to do that I'm going to use Roxil Wood Cream, which is a marvellous product which can penetrate the wood, and basically what you get is a water runoff like water off a duck's back. But before I do this, you'll notice that there's this black spot mould that started to appear. Now, this building's not very old. This has probably been up about 18 months. It should have been treated with the Roxil Wood Cream when it was built, but these things don't always happen like that. So what we've now got to do is we've got to clean off this black mould, because if we leave it there, it will continue to grow underneath and it'll soon show and disfigure the building. So we're going to get rid of all that. It's important that you get rid of mould growth, and if you're starting with new timber, if you give it a quick treatment with Roxil Wood and Patio Cleaner, then that will do a great deal to stop that mould from ever becoming established. Once I've done that, I'll give it 24 hours and then I'll go on with the Roxil Wood Cream. So now you can see that that's done a great job of clearing the mould, all that black mildew off that timber. I put it on, I left it for a few days actually, then just hosed it off, gave it a light scrub, and it's all gone. So now we've got the ideal surface for carrying on with the next stage of the treatment. And the next stage of the treatment is to brush on this Roxil Wood Cream onto the surface. Now, it doesn't matter that it lies on the surface. You don't have to brush it in so it disappears, because over the course of say 24 or 48 hours it will disappear, and then it will form that water repellent layer that sheds the water off and stops the timber being soaked. So I'm going to get on with that. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do half. You wouldn't normally just do half. You would carry on so that you didn't have a sort of dry edge. You would just keep that wet edge going all the way through. But for this, because I want to show you the demonstration of what happens when we spray water on, we're going to treat half and leave the other half untreated. Slightly tricky this, because it's got all these grooves in with the shiplap, and I want to make sure that we get it into those bits so that when the water does run down, it doesn't want to sit in those grooves. So I'm not being shy about this. I'm putting enough on, call that roughly halfway down there, and then when I come back in a day or two, this wood will naturally go silver over the years, but this will provide it with a lot of water resistance and dimensional stability. So rather than it all starting to crack and warp as it gets wet and dries out, we've given it a nice protective coat. Okay, so that's had a few days to soak into the timber. You can still clearly see the line here where half of it was done and half of it wasn't done. And we're just going to give it a quick spray with this water to just see how it repels the water. So there you are, you can clearly see that the water is completely just running off the surface here, and it's soaked immediately into the wood on that side. So that's proof positive that this product does what it says it does. I'm Roger Bisbee. Come back and see us soon on Skill Builder. We're going to be doing more from Safeguard Europe. They've got some other interesting products.